Hello everyone, my name is Chris, and after a very long time, welcome back to another movie review. Alright guys, in this video, I'm gonna be reviewing Warfare, and as usual, I'm quickly gonna go through the story of this movie to tell you in short what this movie is all about, then I'm gonna share my own opinions and thoughts about this movie, so in case you didn't watch it, one big spoiler alert across the screen, and yeah guys, just click away from this video and come back after you watch a movie if you want to, if you don't want to, it's totally fine. But if you are interested in my opinions and thoughts about this movie right now, then stay with me till the end of this video and let's get started. Alright guys, Warfare is a recently released movie. It's a war movie and it follows a platoon of Navy SEALs in Iraq in 2006. The entire movie was inspired by the true event that really happened, and there really isn't any special story behind this movie besides the event that it was inspired by. So you follow, like I said, platoon of soldiers that go into this town in Iraq and they're setting up a position overnight, and they were supposed to provide an overwatch on the enemy position, and shit just hits the fan. They get attacked, and from that point on they just realize they need to get the hell out of there, and they start calling for help and organizing the extraction, and things get more and more complicated as the warfare and the things advance around them and start just unfolding and happening, and that's pretty much it. That's the entire story of this movie. The entire movie actually takes place in one single building, and that's what I found really amazing. Without a doubt, this is probably one of the most realistic war movies, if not even the realistic war movie I've ever seen in my life. I watched plenty of good war movies like American Sniper, Lone Survivor, and some other movies like that. They're really great, but this movie just has realism on completely other level. Now, I'm a guy who's a big fan of guns, tactical equipment, all these war type things, and I'm really into all that military stuff. And this movie is just wow. I watched this movie and I was like, damn, man, holy shit. You don't see movies like this every day. And the realism and how these soldiers reacted in all these scenes and how they behaved in all these scenarios were extremely realistically portrayed, and all these things that are happening on the screen make you feel that you are actually over there and are so realistic to the point where after watching this movie you kind of feel like you got a PTSD from it. I'm not even kidding, bro. This movie is so damn good, and if you're into these type of movies, honestly, the less I tell you about this movie, it's better. This is one of those movies that you just turn on and fucking watch it. The more you listen about it, the more reviews you read or watch about it, you're just wasting your time. Just go ahead, turn the movie on and watch it. It's actually that good. But since I am here to review the movie and actually talk about it, I will talk about some scenes that I found particularly amazing, and those scenes actually stuck to me. There is a scene where these guys are getting out and are calling for Bradleys to extract them from the building they're in, the squad of these soldiers, and as soon as they get out they get hit with ID, and some of their teammates get injured. The two Iraqi soldiers that were on American side get killed, and nothing is censored. You can literally see all the guts on the ground, body parts blown up, blood everywhere. But it's not the gore that was so interesting about this movie. The entire name of the movie refers to something else, I think. Warfare is the name of the movie. It's not only about the warfare that's going on the screen, like people shooting at each other. It was more about the internal warfare, because there is a lot of scenes when these very stressful things happen to these soldiers, and very often camera just pans on them or zooms on them, and you can see them like staring in a wall, their ears like having a high pitched sound, or they're not being aware of their surroundings. And the way that was portrayed, the way actors acted that out was so freaking realistic. And I watched enough of combat footage from Ukraine and other war like countries and conflicts around the world, and I can confirm 100% that that's definitely how humans behave in those scenarios. Like when you see your teammate with his legs blown off and all that gore, and you hear him screaming in pain, trying to comfort him, trying to stop that bleeding, everything is so stressful. You're under fire, you could die at any second. Like all these things really hit your head a lot, like psychologically, and that was perfectly portrayed in this movie. And when I say perfectly, I literally mean perfectly. It was that good that you actually watch this movie and you see these actors performing on the screen, and you're like, damn, shit, I don't know what I would do if I was in that situation. Like, fuck, this is really tough. And like in movie just keeps you on the seat, at the edge of the seat constantly. Everything is so intense. Like the least amount of the movie is focused on the combat. Like there is the least amount of scenes of soldiers firing guns at the enemies. It's not that Hollywood style movie, war type movie, where you see RPGs blown off every few seconds, bunch of bullets whistling over their heads or whatever. No, you can actually see these soldiers firing a couple of precise shots in the way of the enemy, where the enemy fire is coming from. They're conserving ammo. The communication, there's this radio guy through the entire movie. He was the radio operator, and the way he does call signs, calls for the extraction, gives the digit grid location and all that, the numbers, the communication. It's literally how it is in the army. They literally use the same call signs and shorts for certain things. I was watching the movie and I was like, is it possible that they made it this good? And then, after watching this movie and all these scenes and everything like that was so spectacular, at the end of the movie, they put an actual pictures of the event. And now I'm not sure, did they record the movie exactly at where that happened in Iraq? Or did they recreate the environment where that happened? But when you see those pictures at the end of the movie, they literally put the pictures of the real soldiers and then the actors who acted these soldiers in the movie, who actually been through that event. And they put the pictures of the environment they found themselves there, and you can see this building from the inside, and then they compare it to the scenes in the movie. You just sit there and ask yourself, did they recreate this, or did they actually go to the place where that happened and recorded the movie over there? Because holy shit, that looks exactly the same, my man. It was that good. I'm not even joking. And what's amazing, there is not a single song, a single soundtrack in this movie. There is one song at the beginning of the movie, very well-known song. When you start watching the movie, you'll recognize it immediately. And then there is Dancing in Blood soundtrack from Low at the end of the movie, at the credits, when these scenes are rolling, and the track is so perfect, and it just sinks in with all these pictures. And there is even one soldier who loses his leg with this ID explosion. and he doesn't remember actually what happened. He was transported home. He survived the combat, but he has no memory of what happened over there. Some of the names are censored in this movie because some of these guys are still operators and they still serve in the Army and Navy SEALs. Some names are realistic. For example, Elliot is one of them. He gets injured the most in this movie, and you know, it's very brave to create, you know, such a movie, such realistically portrayed. And I heard that the movie actually helped his wife understand what happened and why he had no memory of what happened over there, and because it was true living hell. It was a hell of a movie. Like, you know, like I said, the most interesting part is like the end credits, where you actually see pictures of where this event took place, and you just see all that, and you're like, I was sitting on the couch and I was thinking like, damn, these guys went through hell. That was a hell of a firefight, and you can actually see all that true masculine core and bravery of what these men went through and how tough they actually are. Like, holy shit, you know, it's a good movie. You should definitely watch it if you are into these type of movies that are especially inspired by the true events. You know, if you're into war stories and war movies, this is hell of a good one, and you should definitely check it out. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this movie review, then go ahead and leave a like, share, comment, or subscribe if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's totally okay. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Links are down below in the description. Check it out if you want. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Again, it's fine. I love you guys. I appreciate all of your support and everything you've done for me and my channel so far. You're amazing, and I'll definitely see you in the next videos. Chris out.